Beautiful. And I'd like to officially welcome everyone on this call. I'd like all of us to please introduce ourselves. So I know that I have Tony on this call, I have Ajoa on this call, I have Benjamin, I have Daniel. So hello to everyone that has joined this webinar. Could you please introduce yourself? You could do it in the chat so that we can all learn about each other, right? Okay. I will be going through the chats to see our response. I'm yet to see anybody's response. Like I said, okay, thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony from Manchester. You're welcome to this webinar. I know we have more than one person on this session, so I'll thank you. Thank you, Medioye from Nigeria. Thank you, Priscilla from Birmingham. It's wonderful to have you. Thank you, Mavis Jenner, Virginia. I'm sorry. Thank you and welcome. Thank you, Rina from Cameroon. Thank you, Benjamin from Manchester. It's good to have you all in this session. Thank you so very much for joining us today. I believe we're still more and a lot more people are joining. So when they do, we will welcome them and get to know them better. All right. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ayo from Nigeria. Thank you. It's good to have you all. Like I said, we're here today to learn about which cybersecurity specializations work for people that are coming into the tech space without any computer focus, computer science, any version of computer science related courses, degrees, right? I know that, okay, for me, for instance, I studied pure mathematics in the university. I'd like to know what Medwoye studied in the university. I'd like to know what Priscilla studied in the university. I'd like to know what Mavis studied in the university. I'd like to know what Rina studied. Amazing. Biochemistry, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Rina, what about you? Ayo, what about you? I'd like to know what all of us studied in the university. Business administration, amazing, amazing, amazing. This is great, this is great. I'm so waiting. Beautiful. See, Tony studied chemistry and later studied law. Beautiful. Dr. Catherine studied mass communication and public administration. Beautiful. I'm seeing bilingual. Yeah, I'm seeing bilingual. Did I read that right? Yes, bilingual secretaryship. I'm sorry, I am pronouncing this with twisted tongues, but that's actually like one of the most awesome courses I've heard about in a while. You would probably have to tell me what it entails, but I believe it entails having at least knowledge of 2 or more languages, if I am correct, right? And I see that Benjamin studied accounting. I see that Priscilla studied a physician assistantship. Beautiful, beautiful. These are all courses that, as we like to say, they are not going to be considered computer science focused type of courses. Am I correct? If they asked you and said, oh, how much of computer science or how much of computer related knowledge was passed across to you during the course of learning your course, I bet all of us here, maybe 1 or 2 will say, oh, I had to take one particular course that was, what's the word I'm looking for now, that had a little bit of computer in it. Am I right? Just one person will be able to say that here, right? And the beauty of tech nowadays and cybersecurity is that it does not really need you to have done anything techy or technical to excel in any field you have chosen. And cybersecurity is a wonderful one in the sense that cybersecurity allows you to be free to be who you are, to be who you need to be, right? Cybersecurity allows you to bring your personality into this field. That's part of the reasons why I particularly love cybersecurity, right? Now, I believe that everybody here is here because they have decided within themselves to be a full-on cybersecurity professional. And we are all here to understand what areas we can translate our current skill sets into that we're going to bring into cybersecurity. As we know, cybersecurity is a broad field, it's a beautiful field. It's a field that it keeps giving, right? So we're going to be learning today together all the areas in which we can excel in cybersecurity based on what we currently know and what we currently do. All right? Okay. Now I want us to walk through. I want us to walk through. All right. I'm going to be asking us a few questions based off of what we have understood so far. Okay. Now I know that we all have at some point in our time learned about or heard about analytics from one person or the other. I'd like to ask Tony, for instance. Hi, Tony. I know I seem to love your name, but it is simply because your name is unique. Even your surname is quite unique, and you appear first in all of my lists. All right. So talk to me, Tony. How did you hear about analytics? How did you hear about us in analytics? I know that some of us heard through our families, through our friends, even on Instagram, or maybe in an advert on Facebook, or through an influencer or something, right? So I don't mind if any other person answers. I'm seeing that I have Benjamin, I have Adedotu, I have Rina, I have Priscilla. Talk to me, please. How did you hear about us? And what did you hear about us? So I can tell you more about us. Beautiful, beautiful. Priscilla said through YouTube. Tony says through Ade King's immigration channel on YouTube. You see, YouTube is big. YouTube is a harvest of information, the harvest of direction, of guide, right? See, Dr. Ketri says through coaches video on YouTube. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm so happy. I'm so glad that you actually researched enough to hear about us and you came all the way here to gain more knowledge about us and what we do. Now, let me quickly tell us a little more about analytics. So, as we already know, right, we are a leading edtech that currently specializes in providing specialized training in technological skills and delivering comprehensive data consulting service. Now, we have been at this business for over 4 years, and our goal has always been to build talent, especially Black talent for the technology workforce, because we believe that if we have our people, if we have our people that are properly skilled at the helm of affairs in different areas of tech, it is very, very easy to bring more people in. Remember the African saying, we are because you are, or I am because we are. And to Isi's question, Isi asked, how about someone who does not have a BSc? Now, the beauty of tech is that you can come as you are. And that is what we preach in analytics, come as you are. You do not have to be perfect. You don't have to have all of the quote and unquote certifications that the whole world is seemingly asking you to bring to the table. That's the beauty of it. Tech is a level playing field. And the fact that in analytics, we now re-emphasizes by providing premium and experiential training in different areas of tech, including data analytics, cybersecurity, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, agile project management, Scrum Master, and AI engineering. And the best part, we are accredited by the American Council of Training and Development. It means that in North America and beyond, we are recognized as a foremost ed tech company. And our team of facilitators and instructors are from leading global companies all over the world, including Apple, Microsoft, McKinsey, Amazon, and so many more that we cannot even name completely, especially in cybersecurity for, as we like to call it, for privacy purposes, or yes, privacy NDA purposes. So we don't want to put them at risk of losing their jobs. Now, they bring a wealth of real-world experience because they are professionals that consistently practice what they bring you real-world experience. They are bringing you life experiences. As it's happening, they are also teaching you what entails in the current environment, right? And they are dedicated to delivering a very engaging and practical experience that will ensure that you receive the maximum value for your investment. You can follow us on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we are on LinkedIn, right? Do well to follow us and get more from what we offer you. Now, let us talk about myself that is talking to you right now, right? My name, as I said earlier, is Oluwatobi, an information security analyst. I have years of experience and expertise in vulnerability assessment, threat detection, pen testing, cloud security, and security incident management. I have a cybersecurity senior specialist at analytics, and I have been empowered to guide over 100 individuals with absolutely no tech skills, no tech background into cybersecurity. And I proudly say that a number of my participants, my students, have gone on to get jobs in their threat specialties. Now, I have been advantage to work as a pen tester, cybersecurity analyst, a cyber tech analyst in notable cybersecurity companies. I'm a member of ISC2. I have certifications like Cisco CCNA, I have CNSP, I have CAP, I have the ISO IEC 27001 certifications amongst my many certifications. And I have proven experience in application security and API security. And I have so many different experiences based off of my continuous learning and my advocacy for continuous learning and personal growth, right? I am committed to ensuring that security practices in wherever I find myself and optimized processes are practiced in my organization. Now, enough about me. I know I have told you a lot about me. Now let us talk about why we are here today. What are we here to do today? What are we here to learn today? Now, I'd like us to understand that we are not just here to Hi, can everybody hear me, please? Please, I'd like us to signify with responses in our chat if you can still hear me and if you are following along. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, like I was saying, I said we're not just here to gist or laugh and go. I apologize for that. That's why I asked if you can all hear me now, because I noticed it in my end as well. Thank you so much. All right. As a skill set and our own personality. Now, if you remember, some of us have knowledge in the healthcare sector,
Hi, good evening, everyone. Apologies for that. Hi, Oluwatobi, you are back. You are muted if you are speaking. Hi, Oluwatobi.
Okay, I think I figured out guys.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Apologies for that. I think she's having network issues, so she will join us back in a bit. All right. While waiting for her, can we just please? I want to know if you can hear me. Let's just type in one in the chat box if you can hear me. All right. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Rina. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, Tony. Thank you for that. So, all right. Hold on a bit. Okay, while waiting for her, I just want us to know. I think most of us we are here. I think we are here because we have the passion for cybersecurity. Like we already hear about cybersecurity, and it is in our interest to become a cybersecurity analyst. Can you just maybe in the chat box just type like what made you like feel interested in cybersecurity? Just your thought about cybersecurity. Maybe when you hear about cybersecurity, what you feel like, yes, this cybersecurity, this is just type in a chat box. I just want us to get engaged before our facilitator is back. I'll be waiting for a response. Wow, Rina, the notoriety of profession. Wow. I like that. I like that. I like that. I want more response. I need more response for this. Exactly. Join a career path that can be fulfilling. Yes, yes. Marina is not only like well known, it's not only like popular. It's also it has a cool cash, like a lot of cash in it. Being a cybersecurity analyst, yes, you'll be paid high compared to just maybe you're not in the tech or okay. I think our facilitator is back. Yes, it pays well. Exactly, exactly. It pays well. Cool money. Just sit in your house, less job, less stress, and more money. That's just it. In tech generally, it's not only cybersecurity, tech generally. Ayolo Atobi, please, are you back? Funny enough, it's my current role. Imagine, imagine. Hi, Dr. Catherine, please, can I know your degree? For it to be your current job role and you didn't even study anything related. Can I know your degree, please? Always about the cash. That is the key. Always about the cash. It's not always about the cash alone, and you also have to fall in love with what you are doing, right? If you are earning big money and you didn't like what you are doing, definitely you just have to one day to back out. It might be always about the cash, and It will be about the cash. All right.
Thank
Hi,
you, that's it.
Oluwatobi. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hi, Doc.
So now I can
Okay,
unmute
thank you so
myself.
much. All right,
Please
good.
continue. I was enjoying the conversation. Please continue.
I just
I
want
was
okay. Hi, Catherine. Okay, you studied mass comm, public administration, and masters in marketing, and you are working as a cybersecurity analyst. Please, I want to know the role in cybersecurity analyst when you said you are working there right now. I want to know the job role as cybersecurity analyst. Waiting for you, Dr. Catherine. Hi, Oluwatobi, you have the floor while we are waiting for her. Or Imoa. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Lambe. Thank you, everyone. I really enjoyed the conversation. I could actually hear everyone speaking. I just couldn't figure out how to get myself back in. And I am thankful I was able to figure it out. Thank you so much. Oh, beautiful. I see she says, amazing, amazing. See, you studied mass communication and public admin, and your marketing was in, your master was in marketing and politics, right? And the fact that you are able to translate it is a testament to what we're here to speak about. Maybe says they enjoy problem solving and staying ahead of hackers. And Otosi says it's about the cash. I'm a personal believer of the fact that your purpose or your reason, your why for being in cybersecurity does not have to be altruistic. It does not have to be pleasing to our ears. It does not have to, we don't have to like it. The fact that it is your North Star, it is why you are here, is enough in and of itself. So that's like an amazing thing. Thank you for being real with us. Don't miss me. Okay, so like I was mentioning before I lost my connection, I was talking about the fact that we are here to learn about how to translate our previous experiences, our skill set, our knowledge from our non-tech or non-computer related background into a specialization in cybersecurity that would take everything that we already know and add to the skill sets we're going to learn in the analytics program and make it a beautiful combination, right? And make it work. And we will also be learning how we teach skill sets that is needed to function in this role as a cybersecurity professional. Another thing that we will also mention is the growth internship program. Remember that there is only so much you can learn if you do not practicalize it. The goal of every learner is to be able to say, I'm able to use what I have learned in practical and real situations, right? And then we will talk about the sweetness of the entire deal, which is our special IWD discount offer to you. Okay, now let us also move on and talk real quick about why we keep saying that the era of certification is over. Now, if you look at the right side of my slide, you will see that even Elon Musk, the current, should I say CEO, because people have started saying he's not considered the owner of X, but in real terms, he is the owner of X, which is like a very big tech company. He's the leading shareholder for Tesla, so considered part of the owners of Tesla. He says that if you want to work for him, he doesn't really care what name school you went to, what big name company you work for. Show me your code. In cybersecurity sphere, we will say, show me your skill sets, show me your techniques, show me what tools you can work, right? That's why we say every time we go for a job, even when you pass the first stage of the interview, there is always a technical assessment stage, which is where they will ask you to show your skills and relate experience that you have with the task they have assigned to you. All right. Now, we have understood all of these things. Okay, yeah, we have talked about the fact that we want to come to cybersecurity from a non-tech background. We want to become the best thing available to any company looking for us. Now, we want to talk about cybersecurity itself. What is cybersecurity, right? I believe that we know that cybersecurity is about protecting stuff, right? But in the case of why we are here and what cybersecurity is in the real world right now, we know and understand that it is the practice of protecting systems, protecting networks, protecting environment, especially digital environment, from digital attacks, from cyber attacks, from crimes that affect the availability or the viability of data in the cyberspace, right? And now, the primary role of any cybersecurity analyst, any cybersecurity professional, is to ensure that the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability of digital information and resources of the organization is secure, is constant. It's constant and is secure. Now, we'd like to use this triangle to visualize how this triad works, okay? We have spoken so much about data, about cybersecurity being a form of protection, or a practice of protecting systems and all. Let us now talk about the CIA triad, okay? The CIA triad is the pillar, or I like to say the foundation of cybersecurity. It is confidentiality, integrity, availability, and what those things speak towards. Who would like to help me here and tell me what you think confidentiality is about in information security and cybersecurity? I would like to see your comments as to what we understand these different aspects be. You can tell me what you think it is, even in normal terms, and then I will help you relate it to how it works with cybersecurity. Who would like to help me? Who would like to help me? Outing. You notice I'm eagerly waiting. So we have confidentiality. Who can tell me what they believe confidentiality is? You can answer this question in relation to beautiful. Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much. That's in relation to cybersecurity. It is about keeping people's personal information secure. It means that if it is not for you, you don't need to know about that information. Thank you so much, Tony. Who wants to tell me what they understand integrity to be? Who wants to help me here, please? Integrity. Who wants to help me here, please? Okay, while I wait for responses. Yes, so we'll see. Yes, never sell out. Be sincere. Yes, data is not breached. Yes, Tony, that is it. Data is not breached. Data is not accessed by unauthorized personnel or people. Yes, you are both correct. Now, for availability, I know we all know what availability is, right? Am I correct? We all know that availability is the data should be available as and when it is needed of data, right? So if I combine everything we have said so far, in response to confidentiality, integrity, and availability, I think we now understand why we consider them the pillars of cybersecurity, right? We know that confidentiality, if I follow Tony's definition, is basically ensuring that unauthorized individuals don't get access to data, especially sensitive data. And for integrity, is to ensure that data, whether it is in transit, whether it's at rest, whether it is stored in a secure location, is not easily reached and is not tampered with or altered while in transit or while it is stored. And for availability, it is that the data should be ready for use when it is needed every point in time, right? Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you so much for hosting. This was amazingly, I really enjoyed your answers. Beautiful. So let us talk about the specialization and jobs for non-tech in cybersecurity. First, let's look at information security analyst. This is a role similar to mine, where you are basically a specialist. I believe that we have a doctor amongst us, someone that works in medicine amongst us, right? And I believe that if somebody is called a family doctor or a GP, right? You know that this person is an all-rounder. This person knows a little bit about everything, enough that they are able to properly do any aspect of medicine for their patients, right? They're able to properly take care of their patients, regardless of what area the issue is. Am I correct? to the medical people in our call. Am I correct? If you are called a specialist or a GP or yes, an all-round professional in medicine, you are that person that can do almost everything, right? Beautiful. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. That is what an information security analyst is. It means that you come to the table with everything you already have. You have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I know we all know the saying that we used to hear growing up, where they would say, jack of all trades, master of none. I promise you that a lot of us have not heard the rest of that saying, right? But the entire saying is jack of all trades, master of none, but more than a beginner in every single aspect. That is exactly what an information security analyst is. There's someone that there's no space to put them in, they're not able to function excellently. Okay. Now, let's look at the next position. It's an IT auditor. So I believe on this call, we have someone who has done something to do with law and something to do with, I think, media, if I'm correct. Yes, this is a perfect role for you because the goal is for you to be able to look at situations, look at the environment, and compare it to the governing laws or the regulatory requirements, and make sure that your organization is in compliance with the rules and regulations that apply to the industry within which they are operating. All right. Next, we have the cyber defense analyst. This is somebody whose major role is to make sure that all the defenses of the organization or the company they work for are up, especially the cyber aspect of their defenses. I'm talking about, okay, they have monitoring tools in place. They have intrusion prevention and detection tools in place. They have proper policies in place. They have proper risk assessments done on a regular basis. They have little things that will make sure that they are not susceptible to attacks in place. Yes, Rina, it is similar to GRC, but it's a specialization under GRC. If you realize it, GRC as a whole means governance, risk, and compliance. So you have auditing under risk management, if I'm correct, right? That's the same thing as an IT auditor. An IT auditor is somebody, yeah, it is really cool, right? An IT auditor is somebody who is the information technology auditor. So every asset that the organization has that has to do with information technology is properly managed and audited by that professional. All right. Next, we have now these are people who consistently go into the environment and check for loopholes, check for weaknesses, check for cracks in the infrastructure of our environment, in the security of our environment, and when is the solutions to the organization to fix these cracks. All right, that is for a junior penetration tester. Now we have our security awareness training specialist. This is also an area under GRC where your goal and your job is to make sure that every single member of your team in your organization is up to date as to what's expected of them as an employee and how they should act with regard. All right. And next we have the incident response analyst. This is that person that makes sure that at every given point in time, whether it is an event, whether it is actual it has already occurred, they help remediate that incident. All right. And then we have the SOC analyst. I believe we've all heard about this particular role. So the SOC analyst is that person who monitors and calls the attention of the higher ups to potential and verifiable disasters or events, right? They have seen that this particular incident or event is a potential threat to the organization. They're the ones that do the monitoring to be sure that, okay, this event that's occurring right now will not end up being a problem to our organization. And they are also the ones that will make sure that in case it starts to be a problem, they are able to catch it as body, right? So it doesn't escalate and blow up in the faces of the organization and become a reputational problem as well as a financial problem for their organization, right? These are basic things that a SOC analyst will do to help protect. Remember that cybersecurity generally as a whole is a field where we are practically protected. We are protectors. I like to call us the security agencies or security professionals or the security guards of the internet for wherever you find yourself, right? And next we have the security compliance analyst, which is person that is in charge of ensuring that when it comes to security, it's both of people, of processes, and technologies, your organization is in compliance. That is the basics of their role, right? They're in the legalities, they're in the policies, they're in the procedures. They're the ones that tell you what to do, when to do it, and they're the ones that also help enforce the consequences of flouting the policies or the rules of the organization as an employee. And then we have the network security engineer. These are the people in charge of making sure that the network environment is always secure. They're the ones in charge of making sure that at any point in time, if at all a breach occurs, they quickly re-emphasize and carry out the isolation of wherever the attack or the incident is occurring so that it does not spread throughout the entire organization, right? And last but not least, amongst the list of specializations, we have the security engineer. This is the person that, after speaking with the security architect, they help build the infrastructure with which the network environment operates. All right? Beautiful. Now that we have learned the different roles and jobs available to non-techies in cybersecurity, let's talk about the skills that you need to thrive as cybersecurity professional. Remember that we are coming from places where we are not tech savvy, we are not actual techies, right? Now, first and foremost, you need persistence. I believe that at every point in time, we know that you cannot go far in any field, whether it is as a marketer, whether you are a doctor, whether you are what's the word? I think it's a physician assistant in our group here, right? Yes. There's no role you are finding yourself in currently that you need to, if you're not persistent, if you're not a persistent person, you can go far, right? You are seeing your patient. Your patient is presenting with a headache and pain in their sides, and they're gripping their arm, or maybe their right arm or their left arm, and they tell you, oh, it has been coming and going on and off for the past few days. You know that these are signs of either heart attack or stroke. You start to tell them, okay, please smile, or please say these words, or please lift your arms, or please try and do this thing or that thing to check all the potential symptoms of these different potential problems. That is similar to what you do in cybersecurity. You are looking for all the potential symptoms of the potential events, what we call the IOCs. So doctors will call it symptoms. Cybersecurity will call it indicators of conformance. What are the indicators that you look out for that this thing is about to become a problem, right? Persistence is what helps you see these things. If you're not persistent, after a while, you just feel like, maybe it's not a problem. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe I'm thinking too deeply about this particular event I just saw pop up in my ticket list or on my alert screen or on my trigger list as a SOC analyst in particular. Right? Another skill you need as a cybersecurity professional is critical thinking. You cannot play with critical thinking. You have to be able to think on your feet. You have to be able to think fast, think sharp. Another beautiful skill that goes hand in glove with critical thinking is creative problem solving. We all know that there's a problem that you will encounter while trying to sell a particular product as a marketer, that you have to think on your feet, think really quickly to get your client to believe that this particular thing I'm trying to sell to you or market to you or make you be a part of is an absolute necessity for you in whatever you do in your day-to-day life, right? Another skill you need is adaptability and flexibility. I believe that if I ask 5 people on this call right now about the skills I've mentioned so far, if they use any of these skills in their day-to-day life currently, I believe all 5 of us will actually say yes. Am I correct, please? Am I correct, please? I'm waiting for responses. I'm waiting for responses from 5 people. If I ask 5 of us to answer now, you see, yes, you would realize that use these skills in your day-to-day. Thank you. Thank you. Another skill you need is stress management, because I promise you, there is no work you want to do in this day and age where you will not get stressed. Now, your ability to manage the stress properly is what will make you thrive in cybersecurity, right? That's the ability to be able to say, okay, I know I have to get A, B, C, D, and E done, but I will also pace myself. I will also make sure that I compress, I take walks, I refresh myself so that I don't get bogged down. That's just management, right? It's a skill that would work for you in cybersecurity. Another skill that I tell everybody I come across is continuous learning. Now, unlike, I don't know about other fields, but I believe that for areas like medicine, like I think even law to a large extent, and cybersecurity in particular, you never ever stop learning. As you are saying, oh, I have learned about this particular threat and vulnerability. Before you blink, there's a zero-day vulnerability that you need to learn about and how to solve. There's a new tool being created. There's a new large, what's it called, LLM, yes, large language model being created that you need to learn about and how to preempt any potential security threats it might cause. There's a new AI tool being created that might be a potential problem. I don't know if anybody here has ever heard of what we call vibe coding. So it's a new problem that software companies are facing now, where software engineers or people that claim to be software engineers are using AI tools to build databases, to build web applications. The problem with this type of coding or development is that it does not account for security. It does not account for proper language structure in their programs, right? So it means that at the end of the day, there's so many loopholes and so many security issues arising that you have to continuously learn as a cybersecurity professional how to preempt these problems and be able to help organizations fight them or remediate them or mitigate them, right? Another thing that you need to, another skill you need to try, cybersecurity accuracy and attention to details. You cannot guess. If you're not sure, you ask your colleagues, you ask your senior colleagues, you ask your actual work colleagues. You can even research. Like I tell people, research is key. Attention to details, researching, double checking that what you think it is, right? Testing in small environments first before you put it on a large scale. These are the things that you do in cybersecurity because you cannot, like in medicine, you cannot do guesswork with a patient's life. Am I correct? You can't say, oh, let me just open her up and quickly remove a portion of their stomach. That's where the issue is. If you don't run MRIs and all those other eye scans, you need to be absolutely sure. You have to have something to back up why you want to take a patient into the theater and open them up and operate on them. That's cybersecurity for you. And then you need to stay oriented and engaged. Remember, I mentioned that you need to continuously learn, right? And another way to continuously learn is to always be engaged, to be on top of the news, right? You have cybersecurity news outlets, you have what's called alerts from Google News, from, I don't know, Amazon News, from Microsoft News, different spaces, even Medium, you can set alerts on different spaces that, okay, when this news about a particular thing in cybersecurity comes up, let me be among the first to receive the news so that I am up to date. That's how cybersecurity. You cannot relax on your oars. You have to keep on learning, keep on staying updated, keep on taking exams to reinforce the knowledge you say you have. Right? That's the beauty of cybersecurity. I get people like, I like to always like cybersecurity to construction work or to medicine. These are non-tech areas, but there's so many similarities in these fields, cybersecurity, that every time I mention it and people realize what I realized, right? It is all inspiring for all of us. In cybersecurity, you have to have foundation, you have to build on your foundation, you have to continue building until you get a perfect structure, similar to what you have in construction. Even when you are done building, you still keep maintaining, you still keep priming the building, you still keep what's it called, touching up on the building, you keep doing better decorations and all. That's cybersecurity. It's the same thing with medicine, where you go back and take short courses, you go back and take more knowledge enhancing courses just to stay up to date in your field, right? That's cybersecurity. As I said, every skill you have currently is transferable in cybersecurity. That's the beauty of being in cybersecurity. And another skill in cybersecurity is technical documentation and reporting. Now, when I say and reporting. I believe that as a doctor, as a construction person, as a marketer, wherever you find yourself currently, you have to make documentation. You have to document whatever you find. You have to report either to your management or to your stakeholders or to people that you are working for, your clients, as to what it is you have found, what it is you recommend them to do, whatever it is you have found, and what it is you think would work for their environment. Am I correct? Am I correct? Same thing a doctor would do, right? You are treating a patient, you are seeing a patient, you will always have to document. Okay, patient presents with A, B, and E. Patient is saying they have noticed A, B, C, and E in their urine. We have tested patient and gotten this and that, and so many. And the reason why you're documenting is so that when somebody else picks up the patient's chart, they are able to understand immediately where you are at with that patient and how far you need to go to help that patient acquire premium health, right? That's the same thing with cybersecurity. You need to document so that you are able to tell your organization what their level of health is. Okay. So because of my screen freezing, my colleague is recommending that I turn off my camera. I think, are we in agreement that I do that so that so that I am able to continue communicating? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I was saying, as I was saying, right? After we understand, we can bring in our documentation and reporting skills. We now need to understand that collaboration and communication, proper communication, is key. It's a very big deal in cybersecurity. And I believe it is a very big deal in any field you find yourself, whether you're in real estate, whether you're a marketer, whether you are a, what's the word I'm looking for now? Doctor, you are you a team player. You need to be able to say yes with full chest, like we say in Africa. Say yes with an absoluteness, right? Now, we already have a large number of all these things, right? We also need to know what other things we need to imbibe as non-techies to thrive properly in cybersecurity. First and foremost, you need to start with a very strong skill to learn. Now, you're not coming to class with the mentality of, let me see if I like it. Let me see whether I would like it. If I like it, I will stay. Because once you come in, you need to get the fundamentals, learn as many as possible, learn as much as you need to learn, so that you are able to properly achieve as much as possible. Like we like to say, when you're building a house, the first thing you focus on is the foundation, right? Your foundation has to be strong, it has to be sure, so that every other thing you place on it is going to be effortless. Another thing I also need you to do is to understand that, like I said earlier, cybersecurity landscape is constantly evolving, so you need to stay updated, all right? And then build a professional network within the cybersecurity community. Now, in analytics, we have so many communities. We have the alumni community, we have the internship, we have your actual training community, where it's actually the participant community for the training, where you will network with each other, you learn from each other, you bounce ideas off each other, and translate that into building lasting friendships with each other that will help you in your journey in cybersecurity, because you cannot go alone, right? And next, you also gain hands-on experience with internships, volunteering, and projects. Now, the beauty of cybersecurity and our programs in analytics is that we teach you based on experiential and project style teaching. You don't learn by yourself. You don't just learn, what's the word I'm looking for now? Don't just learn on the basis of, oh, okay, let's just tell you that cybersecurity is A, B, C, D, and E, and these are the things that you need to do. Just theory. No, we teach practically. And when I say practical, what do I mean? Right? Let me show you. So how we do this is very simple. We teach you every single tool that is relevant to cybersecurity in a way that you are able to use it when you get into it. Now, if you Google the cybersecurity tools, you will see that some tools will pop up, right? Amongst them, we have a tool called NMAP. Now, in analytics, we don't just tell you about NMAP. We'll teach you about NMAP. We'll teach you how to use it and how it works. Now, the goal of this kind of teaching is so that at the end of the day, you are able to enter any workspace and beat your chest and say, oh, I do understand how this tool works. I know what it does. I'm able to, what's what I'm looking for now, into actual show of technical skills. I'm not just saying I know this thing. I'm able to show you I know this thing, right? So now let's talk about NMA, for instance. One of the tools that we use in cybersecurity, right? NMAP is a network mapper. It's similar to an architectural tool, right? The goal of NMAP is to tell you it has services that are out of date, it has potential vulnerabilities. It has what we call an NSE, that is NMAP engine feature to it that allows you to see vulnerabilities, what they are, and how they affect your environment, right? And it is beginner friendly. It is a very beautiful tool that helps you to achieve a lot in terms of learning, in terms of how it even gives you the reports and what have you. Now, as I said, we teach every one of our participants to understand the use of each tool by giving them projects to work on tools, to work on with the tools rather. So let me show you this study, for instance. We have a project where we are asked to share network environment and tell them what the potential problems are in that environment. Now, why are we using? Because every single business security issues that they cannot remember, or they don't even know exist, or they don't even bother to look out for, right? And NMAP being a very simple and all of these issues to the what's it called now, to the businesses by virtue of the cybersecurity professional telling them about it, telling them it exists, right? And now, when we teach the students, it is so that when they get into this job or when they help the organizations, they are able to live in a place of, first of all, knowledge, secondly, understanding, and be able to say, okay, I have shown you these vulnerabilities, and this is how I found them. So this is tool I use, and this is it is a small and medium scale enterprise that has launched an e-commerce website. Now, the business has no dedicated security team, which means that they are obviously not going to be aware of all weaknesses or vulnerabilities in their infrastructure. So here, our role is that we are going to help them run a simple and initial assessment of their environment to identify potential risks. By potential risks, I mean open ports or services that are running on outdated software. All right, these are vulnerabilities. And what are we going to be using? We're going to be using NMAP, we're going to be using a vulnerable virtual machine, we're going to be using our virtual, which is basically a container for a virtualization environment, and we're going to be using our Kali Linux terminal, which has the interface for NMAP's prompt. And what are we doing in this space? We are going to be running a basic NMAP scan that the objective is to identify open ports and NMAP and IP address. And now we expect to find outputs like open ports and running services. Now let us quickly go to our NMAP and see what I just mentioned. Okay. Please let me know when you can see my my Linux and my NMAP. Okay. I am going to stop. I'm change what I'm sharing my environment. So let me just quickly change what I'm sharing so that we're able to see what I need us to. The areas on my screen of the paused. So I would like to start. Okay. Zoom. Okay. I'm trying to change what I'm sharing so that we can all see what I want us to see with this and as fast as possible. Okay. Please let me know when you can see my virtual environment. I'd like us to respond when you can see my virtual environment. Since my colleague was not want us to see it. All right, okay. Okay. I wait for my colleague to show up. Okay. I think we're here now. Please let me know when you can see my notes on my virtual box. So I'm trying to show us as a whole what goes on within the virtual box. Like I mentioned earlier, you can put different virtual machines that will help you achieve different things. So this is a tool that is typically showing you per time. Okay, I want to be able to work with different virtual machines. I want to work with different environments. Say is that it helps you to a large extent to do different things all at once. All right. So if you look at my virtual box here, I have different versions of virtual machines. As far as cybersecurity is concerned, these are different laptops within one space, one work environment. So I have a Linux laptop, I have CyberOps laptop, I have a security on it, which is basically like a monitoring tool. I have different devices. As far as my container is concerned, I have different devices within my environment. All right. Now, this is my vulnerable virtual machine. This is an Ubuntu machine that allows me to run for that. Can you see my screen now, please? Can you see my screen now, please? Anybody else see my screen, please? Because I believe that I think, yeah, make sure you can't see my screen. Okay, thank you, Tony. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. Apologies for the lateness in it coming up on your end. Thank you so much. So what I have done here is basically ask the machine to tell me its address. We call this the IP address. So this here is what it's telling me, that its address is at 192.168.19.187. This is basically its location as far as the interconnected web is concerned. All right. Now I'm going to go to my colleague to ask it to try and access or try and target IP in such a way that whether it has any open ports or any open services that a potential attacker can exploit. Now, what we call this in cybersecurity is a vulnerability assessment. You are assessing the environment of your target host to see if it's vulnerable to any kind of attacks. Now, if you look at my screen, let me zoom out my syntax so that you can see properly. I'm already typing a syntax and it's completing it for me. That's the beauty of Kali, right? And if you come to the top left of the Kali, you click on applications, you realize that within Kali Linux itself, learn and do so to do able to do vulnerability assessment and analysis, able to analyze so many things, trying to understand your organization or the company that you work with these tools. The goal at the end of the day is to find the problems and what's the word now? To knew that an attacker can use to access your environment. All right. Now, for every tool you have within Kali, there's a manual. Okay. Now we want to use the tool. We call the tool up. So you're saying MAN, and we say we want to use Nmap, right? So NAN Nmap. We're saying give us the manual for Nmap. It does that. It tells you the name of the Nmap, it tells you what is referred to as, and it tells you the description. And then when you go through this reference area, it tells us and result. You will report that says, whilst it was scanning that target host, it found it has specific ports that are open, and these ports have specific services running on them, and it's running with the versions that are these specific types. And in our further research, we will then go ahead and realize that, okay, when we search more about these versions, we find out they have specific types of vulnerabilities attached to them. This is just from the manual page, right? Go further down, we will see that the Nmap tool itself has different usages. It has target certification, it has host discovery, it has scan techniques, it has ability to scan for service versions and service. So it is so versatile that it will detect the type of operating system that your target host or target environment is working with. But if I use firewall evasion techniques that come with Nmap scans, I'm able to bypass your protection and still get access to your environment. So please use another method to protect your environment. These are all the things that you gain just from teaching you analytics, right? And I have preemptively scanned target so that we can talk about the reports real quick. So I ran a scan where I basically told the network mapper to scan the target host. Look at here, you will see that I have a as well as potential ports that are open on my target device or on the device I am targeting. Do we understand? These are specifics that NMAP allows you to cultivate by using it appropriately. Okay? Now, you think, oh, that sounds fascinating, but how does it relate to vulnerabilities or how does it relate to weakness on my target? Or how does it mean that has porous holes or has a potential for attackers to come in? If you come back to the report, you realize that it says, oh, the port 20 is open, which means it's accessible. And it is running on a service called FTP, which is the file transfer protocol. And the version is running is a version of the Pro FTP being one that is very open, which means that the ability for your environment to transfer files is open, and it is move all your files who are using outdated software. And that is just one of the issues that the scan has found with the target host. Now, if you look at the different ports that is found open, important ports like the SSH is how a remote worker gets access into their organization's environment. Now, imagine that a remote worker is saying that, oh, I have access, but I left my laptop open, I left my computer open, and a hacker then this their own means to gain the workers' login credentials. They then use this particular port to access the house or to lock you out of the environment, which is basically what we call account escalation. And this is just some of the few things, all the others that have been found and how delicate or how problematic they are, right? Even though if I was telling you the type of operating system that is running on that target, which is a Unix and a Linux operating system, and the version. So it means that if the attacker wants to come at you based off of the kind of vulnerability that the OS you're using has, it's just a matter of research and crafting, creating a proper payload. And these are just things that we have learned from a simple scan from NMAP. Please, are we together? Are we learning we are seeing so far? I'd like us to answer, please. Are we getting any information so far? And this is just like a tip of the iceberg of what we are going to be learning in. Oh, I apologize for that. I apologize for that. I apologize for that. Can you all hear me better now? Can you all hear me better now? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I apologize for your experience midway. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So let me quickly reiterate what I said so far. I was explaining the reports from this simple scan to us, and I was mentioning how with this open port that we found, which is the port 21, in this environment, this is the port through which the attacker would come in and steal sensitive files and transfer it out, because that's what that port is for. And the next port, which is the port 22, is how your normal remote workers or your workers that are not in the same location physically as the organization will try and access your organization's network environment. Now, your attacker is seeing everything, including the host keys of your connection. So even when they get access to your environment, by this post, they're able to enter in easily and do what we refer to as the privilege escalation or an account takeover and do what we call payment in return for returning your access to that environment. Imagine building a house, furnishing it properly, spending a lot of money to making that your house is as exactly as you want it. And then you go out one day and then somebody tells you that because you're in California, a squatter came into your house and has squatter rights. That's exactly what a ransomware attack is. Because, oh, I traveled for 1 week. Somebody came into my house, started living there. So they have squatter rights. I can't just throw them out. That's similar. to what I've explained so far about the ransomware attack. So imagine how bad that can be for an organization. It means that you either have to go the legal route or you have to pay. And because a lot of times these attacks are because of compliance violations or regulatory requirement violations, they then still have to pay fines, pay restitution to affected or impacted people for this kind of breach. You understand? And you know the funniest part, I used to think before today, I used to think, oh, anybody that any news I hear about a data breach is an abstract news. It cannot relate to me. It cannot be about me, or it cannot be about somebody I know or any such thing. But I have been dissuaded of that fact. Yeah, that fact has been changed for me in the sense that I met somebody 2 days ago. All right, 2 days ago, I met someone who is basically a victim of a very, very, very loud, very, very important, how do I call it now? A very, very important data breach that occurred about 10 years ago. This person was telling me that what I'm telling them about is something that they experienced in real time. It's not like, oh, they were told about it. It is that it happened to them. They lost a lot of money in that particular breach, and they were forced to now follow up on the organization that allowed the breach to occur and then take restitution from that organization. Now, the thing about it is that when you hear about these types of attacks, you hear that, oh, Oracle suffered data breach, 140,000 business accounts were affected. You think, oh, it's an abstract issue. It can't happen to us. You hear CrowdStrike affected a lot of people's ability to travel back and forth December, October, December. You think, oh, it really cannot happen to us. It really cannot happen to us. It's an abstract thing. Until you realize that there are real people that these attacks actually affect. One such person is someone I met recently, and I was in so much awe of the fact that what happened 10 years ago is still resonating in their lives till now, that they are so very careful about what they do and how they do things, especially with their data and their payment cards and all of that. Right? Now, as a cybersecurity analyst, you are going to remediate or propose to the organization that, please, any ports you're using, please close them. So why is your FTP port open? Why are you not using a secure version of the FTP port? Because there's a secure version of every vulnerable version, right? Why is your software not updated? So you recommend that they should patch the outdated versions of their software so that they can help eliminate known vulnerabilities. Remember that we also have what we call zero-day vulnerabilities, which are called unknown vulnerabilities, right? So at least the ones that you know, let us preemptively protect ourselves against them. Let's not open ourselves up to attack. And then you also recommend that, oh, please try and make sure that you have enforced strong password policy. And what does this mean? It means that at the end of the day, your attacker should not be able to easily guess your password or your login credentials. They should not be able to type your name and 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's open. What do you mean that as admin, your password, your username is admin, your password is also admin? Why? What kind of characters is that? Or you say your username is, let me use one of us name here. So your username is Yakub Ovosi, and then your password is Ovosi Yakub. Why are you playing with your security? That's the implication of that, right? So you're going to recommend all of these things to them as a proper cybersecurity analyst. We also teach you, like I mentioned earlier, how to document and write reports. This is an example of the report that you would write, right? You list all the vulnerabilities that you found, you list their severity, you list what you noticed about them, and at some point, you would even create a table of their CVE scores and their CVSS scores and CVE ratings. You have it here, you have the severity levels, which is high. You have some of them as being critical. You have some of them as being medium, right? And they are mentioned as to what was found in that space. Okay, and then you are going to go ahead and list your recommendations to the specific vulnerabilities that you found. You can't be listing recommendations for remote code execution if saying that you only found a possibility of privilege escalation. You can't be listing remediations for weak encryption when you have said your vulnerabilities only included SQL injection or cross-site scripting, which we also call XSS, right? Or denial of service attacks remediation for outdated software. Do we understand? So that part of the things that we are also going to be learning in the course of our program. Now, based off of this project, the key takeaways are that the reason why we are choosing Nmap is because, yes, it's a simple tool, but it's a very powerful tool. And it's so effortless to use that beginners can use it to uncover and help organizations remediate critical security issues. And the best part about it is that it is an essential skill for any aspiring cybersecurity analyst, such that you can use that to show off your knowledge, your skill set, and be able to say, if I can do this, how much more do you think I can do when you employ me in your organization? Right? Now let's look at what kind of jobs are available. We keep saying there are jobs, there are jobs. How do we know there are jobs? Okay, we went to do our research and we found out that in 2025, the monetary damage that has been caused by cyber crimes, as reported by the United States Internet Crime Complaint Center, the IC3, is that there's been a year-over-year increase of about 15 to 24% of cyber crime that has cost organizations all over the world over 10.5 trillion US dollars in 2025. And this is like coming from $3 trillion in 2015 to 10.5. That is more than ×3 of the previously seen levels of loss that these organizations have suffered, right? And another thing we also found is that as of 2023, we said, okay, we have over 1 million plus jobs available, but we only had about 400,000 trained professionals or experts in cybersecurity that could fill this role. But right now, in 2025, we have over 3.5 million openings, right? And we still have not met half the quota of the professionals that need to fill this job. Okay, so when you hear, oh, please come cybersecurity, you will definitely get a job. I promise you, it is not a lie, it's not hearsay. These are facts that are derived from research. Okay, we're not just saying these things because we think it is based off of research. Now, I've mentioned a number of roles that you can work within. Let's talk about other roles that you can also work within. I know that earlier we saw that the winner mentioned GRC, right? In cybersecurity, we need to realize that GRC is the niche that ensures that there's an alignment of what the business is about, your business goals, and everything with what the industry within which they operate requires. So it's basically a role in which, as a professional, you're going to be making sure that all your company's objectives and their ability to manage their risks based on the assets that they have match the industry standards and the industry regulatory requirements, so that they have a very strong security posture and they're not non-compliant to the rules that apply within where they operate. Another role that is also available to you as a non-techie in cybersecurity is the research analyst. Remember I mentioned earlier, cybersecurity is a very big field that is big on research. There is no area in cybersecurity that you will focus in or niche down on that will not require you to do a lot of research, right? So because you're coming from a place of, okay, I'm coming from biochemistry, I had to do a lot, right? I'm coming from math, I had to learn a lot. I'm coming from mass communication. You cannot tell me you've not read. You're coming from law. We know that as a lawyer, you will reach the point where people will ask you if you are okay. As a medical professional, there are some tons of books I have seen my people read, my cousins and my family members read, that I will look at them and ask them, is it by force to do medicine? Because how are you telling me that this head that God gave us, this one head that God gave all of us, is the same head that is used to collect all of this knowledge, and you are able to actually use them? Wow, right? But these same skill sets are able to translate into cybersecurity and help you as a research analyst who will now be proactive about studying for and helping organizations develop new technologies to preempt emerging threats and to improve the defenses. Because as you are building a new defense system, cyber criminals are building a new way to hack that new defense system. There's even a joke in cybersecurity that they will say, cybersecurity criminals don't sleep. The people that are chasing them too, that is the cyber defenders, also do not sleep. You cannot say you are a security person or a guard and you are sleeping. It's impossible. That's the same thing in cybersecurity, right? Another role that I know that works for non-techies is the user access manager role. So basically, the role of someone who is in charge of who accesses what, when, and why. Okay, this is where the person is in charge of. Okay, you are an intern that works in HR. You would never have access to the information that is required for people in finance. Now you are the head of department for finance. Why do you need to access data from HR? You have to give like a written notice to the user access manager. They will then note it down, give you the access for a limited amount of time based on your role. Call this role-based access control, right? Based on your role, you're giving that access for a limited amount of time. They time you, they track you, and then when that time's up, they throw you out of that particular environment so that there is no likelihood of an attacker following you in and causing a problem within the entire network environment. Another role that you can work as is a warning analyst, security awareness trainer. You are the one that helps to train the employees, to help them to prepare, to help them to mentally, what's it called, understand the implications of not following the rules and policies, or of helping an attacker gain access into the environment. So there are also people that help your employees stay vigilant, stay what's it called, on their toes when it comes to things like phishing, things like manipulative schemes from attackers, or even malware-filled emails and what have you. And then you have the social engineer or social engineering specialist. Okay, so now people say, oh, phishing is a part of social engineering. Yes, but because of how deep and how wide phishing is, it has a place on the pedestal of its own. But social engineering is broad. There's coercion, there's manipulation, there's intimidation, there is what we call tailgating, where an attacker will typically follow you into your environment by following you back to back. I know that a lot of us use the subway. Am I correct? A number of us use the subway when we're going to and from work. Am I correct, please? A number of us use the subway and we have our subway cards, right? Please, can you hear me? I'm trying to get to respond so that I can explain what I'm trying to explain better. Beautiful. So obviously, you know, when you're passing through the subway and you scan your card, there are these loiterers that will try and attach themselves to you and pass through that guards with you. Those are called tailgaters. It's actually a thing in cybersecurity. Yeah. And we call shoulder stuffing, similar to tailgating, but these ones are actually trying to catch your login details, your login credentials, so that they can try and hack into your device stress. These are the things that a social engineer tries to help mitigate against by showing individuals in real time how it happens and helping them to understand how attackers exploit psychological tactics and human ability to be manipulated or to be coerced into doing what they typically not do, without through greed, curiosity, or fear. Right? Their job is to show you these things are possible. Right? So these are other roles that a non-techie can do in cybersecurity. Now, let's talk about how to get started. First things first, you are here because you have selected the right career path. And how do I know this? Because you are here. It sounds like pathology, right? But it's the truth. And these are the three things you need to do today. First and foremost, you need to learn. And now, because you are here, I know that you are ready and willing to learn. You have already focused by selecting cybersecurity as your primary area of learning, right? This is the in-demand tech skill that you have chosen to learn. Now, in analytics, our job is now going to be to teach you in details this in-demand tech skill in cybersecurity. And next thing to do is package. So when we talk about package, we're talking about your CVs, how properly created or created is it? Your LinkedIn, is it optimized? Have you been mentored? Are you prepared for your interview? Have you gotten interview preparations? Have you gotten job referencing? By that, I mean that Have you gotten people tell you about jobs or refer jobs to you? And then when you have even gotten to the jobs, have you gotten people that can stand for you and say, oh, yeah, whilst you are applying for this job, I can vouch for that oversee that. Oversee can do these things properly. I can tell you that Medroye can actually do this job as they have said they can. And then on the job support is, I'm in the job right now. I'm working as a network security engineer. I'm working as a SOC analyst. I've been given these tasks and I need to achieve it. I have a tight deadline. I need somebody who will give me like a guide as to how to achieve tasks that the job has given me, right? All these things I mentioned so far are the things that we as analytics have properly put in place to help you. These are not just hearsay or things. These are things you actually need and things that we have prepared to help you achieve your goals in 2025, right? And then applying. One thing we have come to notice over time is that a lot of people are afraid. I don't understand it, but a lot of people are afraid of applying, of targeting jobs, of tailoring their CVs to roles and applying. Analytics here, we will teach you, we will encourage you, we will push you to apply for those roles after you have revamped and tailored your CV and apply aggressively. Because at the end of the day, what we're after is that job. Am I correct? The goal at the end of the day is not just to learn a skill and keep it in your head. It is to learn that skill and get that job that matches your newly acquired skill sets. Now, if you look at this chart I have displayed before you, you see that on the left side of my screen, you have some jobs in blue. And then on the right side, you have some jobs in purple. This chart is actually gotten from the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report for 2025. This chart is basically giving us a projection of how many more jobs are going to be created in the coming 1 to 5 years and how many jobs are going to be removed or displaced in the coming 1 to 5 years, right? And if you look at this roles, you see that there's information security analyst on the blue side or the left-hand side, which is the side where we have the jobs that are going to be getting increased in creation. We have the Internet of Things specialists. We also have security management specialists and many more security-related roles, right? That are on the rise, that are getting increased in creation in the nearest future, that is this next 1 year and the next five years. And it's not just, like I said earlier, we don't do hearsay here, right? We don't say, they said, we show our proof with data. So we show you these things from the information we have gotten from actual proven reports. Now, you know that these are actually skill sets that are now becoming in more demand, right? So we have created a 6-step strategy to take you from learning, employability, to actually landing that job. What do I mean by this? You are coming. So let's look at one of us, for instance. This is Victoria, right? She has come in as a non-techie. Bear in mind, she's a fashion stylist. That means that she does not have anything to do with tech. She does not know anything about tech. She's not a tech focused specialist, right? She's not a tech person. She comes to us and says, oh, hi, Oluwatobi, I'd like to become a tech talent. I'd like to become a cybersecurity professional. What we do at analytics is that we take you through everything. First and foremost, we teach you the skills. And how do we teach you the skills? We do self-paced learning, that is on our LMS. We'll teach you with videos, with materials and resources, how to understand concepts in the field you have chosen, cybersecurity. And then we have live classes. These are instructor-led classes that will come in and teach you how to practicalize everything you have learned on the LMS as well, right? And the beauty of and the goal of this is that this blended approach allows you to learn at your own pace, also learn at the pace at which your colleagues are also learning so that you are not left behind, okay? And then we then teach you based on projects so that you are able to gain experience. You are able to say, like I said earlier, I have been able to do A, B, C, D, and E, and I know my onions. You're not just saying because of it that, oh, I know how to use Nmap. I know how to use a CM tool like Wazoo. I know how to use Metasploit. No, you can prove you know these things from your portfolio. Okay. If you notice here that all these things in this slides, in these materials and these resources are actually clickable. So please fill in the form that Latif, my colleague, and my other colleagues have been dropping in the comment section so that you are able to access these slides, able to go through these different links that have been attached to these slides. Okay, so notice here we have the portfolios for cybersecurity trainers that have I personally trained, right? That they have used to go ahead and get jobs, get better opportunities, get better roles where they are, and it is beautiful to behold. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, we also teach employability skills. So we don't just teach you technical skills and leave you hanging. No, we also teach you soft skills. And how do we do that? We help you with your CV review and revamp. We teach you how to optimize your LinkedIn for the field you are in and to target the kind of LinkedIn profiles that recruiters would look out for. I promise you they will reach out to you. Okay, we teach you how to navigate the job market, and then we teach you how to prepare for interviews. We have what we call interview prep sessions. So when you have framed your CV, you have reviewed your CV, it is proper, it's ready to go, your LinkedIn is looking amazing, you have looked at jobs that we have created for you, because we actually do create jobs, right? We harvest jobs, and we send the job opportunities into our participants, right? Then you have gotten an opening, because this is a definite, right? You have gotten an opening in a space and tell you, oh, please come and interview with us in the next 1 or 2 weeks. We will prep you for that interview. I don't mean that we come and tell you, say that. No, we will sit with you, train you, and walk you through how to properly present yourself to that organization as the best thing to ever happen to them. And I'm not just bluffing now. I'm not making mouths like you say in Africa, right? Then we give you reference letters. This is when you have gotten the job, your employer is saying, oh, can I get a referee that can vouch for you and whatnot? We will do that for you. And like I mentioned earlier, whilst you're on the job, you encounter a task that you are finding difficult to know where to start from. You come to us, we will guide you, show you how to start, what to look out for, what to do, what you should expect. I promise you, 10 out of 10 times, everything we provide actually helps you to be a better professional on the job. We also provide networking and mentorship. Remember, I mentioned earlier that you can go far, but you go far faster when you go with people, right? So we have created a community. We have groups for our interns. We have groups for our participants. When you look at each other, you learn from each other, you bounce ideas off each other. You are able to grow. You're able to open minds. You're able to see from other people's points of view. You're able to learn what other people have learned. Let's say, for instance, I'm teaching you how to use Nmap, for instance. Somebody goes and research what I'm teaching and says, oh, I learned that you can use Nmap to find specific things. That's another knowledge you have added to your knowledge bank because somebody went to do research. You didn't have to do that research. Because you're listening with that person, you have become colleagues with that person, right? You are able to learn of that person. That is just even in networking. Now, for the mentorship, we actually have mentorship sessions where we consistently train you and equip you with soft skills to make you a better person for the field you're going for. At the end of the day, you get the job. Like I keep saying, our end goal at the end of the day is to make sure that you are able to get the job, you are employable. Because like you know, a lot of times employers will say, oh, a lot of people say they can do this, they can do that, but they're not employable. They don't have employable skills. They don't have translatable skills that make us sure that they can work for us. And our sixth strategy to take you from being a non-techie, being a regular person, to being an all-time awesome cybersecurity professional. All right. Now, let me give you this quick scenario. How many of us love cars here? Fast cars, smooth sailing cars, beautiful cars. How many of us love cars here? If you love cars, what's your favorite car? I don't care what year it was made. What's your favorite car? I can tell you my own favorite car, but you look at me like an engine head. So let me not tell you my favorite car. You're a car lover, beautiful Honda. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. What other cars do we love? Do we have any other cars that we like? I'm going somewhere with this so that you can understand what I mean. Hey, Benz. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tesla, nice. Toyota, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So imagine, just imagine with me. Someone now calls you and says, "Hi, Abdul. I've been seeing the work I've been doing. I really love what you do. I'd like you to be an ambassador for Toyota. And with that, I'm giving you the latest Toyota 2025 model. The type that the super blondie car lady tends to show on her channels on YouTube. The one they call conceptual cars. Cars that you will tap and the doors will open. You will speak and the dashboard will say, "Hello, hi, Abdul, welcome." Self-driving cars. Someone will give you the 2025 version and says, "Hi, Abdul, go ahead and use this car." And then for some reason, you take the car out for a spin and the rain falls. And maybe when you have to pass when you're going home, has like a large puddle or a large jeep. And in passing, your engine starts to make some funny, funny noises. And you get home and you complain to your best friend. And your best friend says, "Hi, Abdul, I know somebody that came from Harvard. Ah, the guy is a valedictorian. He was on Dean's list. He was the best of the best amongst his class. In fact, he's that person that they will say he has two heads. Our parents will say he had two heads. Does he have two heads? Yes, he had two heads, right? Let me recommend him to come and fix or check what is wrong with your car." And then opposite culture says, "Ah, no, 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 Abdul, I have a friend and a mechanic. He didn't go to school, oh, he doesn't have any degrees, oh, but he has worked with Formula race cars. He has worked with Aston Martin cars, on Toyotas, on Benz, on every car you name it. He even consistently goes back to get skills on new and just coming out versions of the cars that he specializes in. And your car is one of them. He didn't go to school, remember? And they now tell you, okay, oh, between the one that your best friend recommended and the one that the boss recommended to you, please pick one. Who would you rather have or look under the hood of your brand new concept car from Toyota? Please, who will you pick? To graduate with my vegetarian. Thank you, Rina. Thank you. Because yes, he went to school. Yes, he's the dean's list. But does he have experience? Has he ever even seen what my engine looks like? No. Thank you, Tony. Has he ever even had us to listen for and understand what different sounds mean within the engine? No. That's the same thing in cybersecurity. You would think that because it is if you went to school, you should typically get the job. But in today's climate, it's not how that's how it works. That's why we like to say that it's always seeming like it's impossible until it is done. Now, I like us to watch with me the other stories of some people that have had us to finish from our programs and got to roles. Now, I want to show you the video of Adetayo, who had not even finished the program before he got his job. All right, I'm going to show you real quick. Okay, let me share my entire screen, affecting the ability for us to see everything that I am trying to show us. This is where you can see it coming up. Let me know. I was told that we cannot actually hear the sound. Okay. All right. Lati, can you please play this from your end? I don't know why I don't have the sound in the end, but I can actually hear it through my speakers. And the solution that the sound is playing, but everybody not hear in play the violin and see if we're able to get the sound now. If not, I please let me know if you can hear the sound now. Can we hear the sound now, please? Okay, so I believe a large number of us cannot hear the sound. Obosi can hear the sound. Some people can hear the sound. So what I am going to do is leave it off and have us watch this later when we get access to this resources. So the end goal is that we are able to listen to Adetayo and hear how he was able to get a job before even completing the what's it called? The training. He had not even gotten into the internship program yet. And with the skills that he had acquired, he was able to get a job. We have so many more success stories, and I believe that you'll be able to learn about. We have Sola, we have Abigail. These are people that came in from non-tech backgrounds and got jobs. Now, we have talked so much about people getting jobs. Let's talk about the skills that we're going to be teaching you, they're going to be learning because that is going to help you gain this job. Okay? Now, this, what you're looking at here right now, is our syllabus, our key learning areas. We're going to be teaching you about the basics, the fundamentals of cybersecurity. We're going to be teaching you about the basics of networking. Now, I believe that there is nobody you would ask right now, whether it's Google, whether it's the normal person of cybersecurity, that would not tell you that if you do not learn about networking, you do not learn about anything. It's like having your builder build your house and not shore up your foundation. So you build the foundation by learning about the basics or fundamentals of cybersecurity, and then you do not shore up that foundation, which is learning about networking. Then you actually have not learned anything, right? You have not learned anything at this point. So we will teach you the basics, all the fundamentals, like I mentioned earlier, of cybersecurity and networking. We'll teach you the basics of incident detection and response. We'll teach about so the way our curriculum is shaped is career focused, so that when you leave us, you are such an all-round player, an all-round professional, that there is nowhere you find yourself that you are not able to function. We're going to be teaching you basics and in-depth knowledge of SOC analysis. We're going to be teaching you about threat intelligence, basics and in-depth. We're going to be teaching you penetration testing, basics, ethics, tools, technologies, procedures. If you look to my right, you will see, or to the right of your screen, you will see the different tools and technologies I'm referring to for the different career paths or the different specializations. Then we'll teach you about GRC. Remember that GRC is a lot about the legality, the regulations, all of that, all of that. We'll teach you about these things and the technology that operates within that particular niche. If you look up to the right of my screen, you will see that even as a cybersecurity analyst, the going rates for salaries are not static, but they are such that you are able to live well. And the beauty of it is that I personally believe that once you understand the cybersecurity specialization for the niche that you have chosen, it is effortless. Don't get me wrong, I never said it's easy, but it's effortless to be a cybersecurity professional. And how do we teach, or how is our teaching schedule like with analytics? So we have 2 classes every Saturday, 2 live classes every Saturday according to the curriculum. Remember, I said we have the self-paced and have the live instructor-led, right? So we have 2 different live classes, one in the morning according to West African time for those in the EU, for those in the UK, for those in Africa, and then we have in the evening, which is morning for Mountain Standard Time, for those in North America, which is their own 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have another live class for them. So no matter where you are still able to join into the live class and gain absolute knowledge and skills. And you're able to ask your questions, learn learn live, and able to relate with what you are being taught and understand. And for Sundays, we have where you now watch me do it videos, or the self-paced learning aspect, where you go to the LMS and you actively learn. Now, bear in mind I said that actively because it does not matter whether you are learning on the LMS and on the live class. Both versions are active learning because everything you learn on the LMS is what you use in the live class. All right. And our learning timeline for this is a 6-month option where you have an 8-month option, apologies, where you have 6 months learning in class, in terms of training, intensive and project-based and experiential training. And then you have 2 months of internship where you work on real life projects from actual companies. These are companies that will send in the projects to the organization and tell us, okay, have your interns work on this project. All right. And as you can see, the fact that it is this all-encompassing means that you will be gaining as much as possible from all these curated materials that is going to make you a very well-grounded cybersecurity professional at the end of this learning timeline. Now, the best part, you will have the unique opportunity of including both Analytics Incorporated and Amdari in your CV. These are 2 very strong tech organizations, tech companies. So imagine being able to tell someone, I work with Analytics and I also work with Amdari. You'll be like, oh, wow, you really know your stuff. You really know what you do. You really are a capable person because you also have your portfolio to show, right? And that's the beauty of this internship and learning timeline. Now, the way we are teaching is we are believing that when we combine the technical skills with your employability skills, you will automatically get a job offer. And what are your employability skills? First and foremost, like I mentioned earlier, your CV review and data. Secondly, your LinkedIn organization. Thirdly, the ability and the aid in navigating the job market. Third, the fourth, apologies, is the interview preparation. And fifth is the reference letter. You and I know that in security jobs, if you cannot vouch for you, even normal jobs nowadays, they ask you, can I have your references in? Who can I call to vouch for you and clearly for your character? You have to have those. We provide those. Like I said earlier, we also provide on-the-job support. And then we provide weekly mentorship sessions. And last but not least, we provide Upwork optimization for those of us that want to go freelance. Okay, you want to work remotely, you want to work for more than one company, we help you to learn how to use Upwork and optimize your Upwork so that you are able to also take advantage of that area of the job market. So you're not limited to just, oh, I have to get an in-house job, I have to get an on-site job, I have to get a hybrid job. You're also able to navigate and to explore the remote side of job offers. Now, when I was mentioning the fact that we help you by finding jobs that you can apply to, I wasn't joking. But what do I mean by that? We scrape job posts from exclusive sites weekly, and we send these jobs into your classrooms, into your groups, and encourage you to apply. That is one of the benefits of training with us at Analytics. And we have an assistant, AI assistant called Oduko, that also helps you on your LMS to better understand concepts that you are learning, to better expatiate on concepts that you are being taught on your LMS. So say you are learning about segmentation, for instance, and you are saying, oh, I have listened to what the tutor has said, but I don't really understand in simple English what they are talking about. It's as simple as going to the Oduko assistant and asking it to explain. The person has talked about segmentation in her video. Please break down in simpler terms what this concept means. Oduko will break it down for you in such a way that you're able to understand what they are referring to. And the beauty of this is that at the end of the day, you are able to say, oh, I have gotten all-round learning and success from using analytics platform. Now, these are different and more success stories that you can see as people that have come to us and did not leave disappointed. Now, I'm going to quickly brush through this. I believe that my colleague has dropped the link where you can sign your attendance so that you are able to get access to this and you are able to watch the success stories, go on their LinkedIn, even interact with them and see these different things. Right? We have so many success stories because we did not come to play. Our goal is to make you the best version of you that you can possibly be. Remember I mentioned earlier that we're accredited by the African Council and Development. You understand that this means that everything we teach you here is to show you that we are not just plain. We know our onions. We have people that understand and know their onions, right? And the best part of it is that we are recognized in the entire North America as being one of the best. So now, what are the next steps that you are going to take to make sure that you thrive in this 2025? You need to join our next cohort. And this next cohort is going to start on the 5th of April, 2025. Please, please, and please take advantage of this opportunity. Remember, I mentioned earlier that I have a sweet deal for us, right? This is what I'm talking about. So for the month of March, which we all know is the International Women's Month, I refuse to be corrected. I stand on that, right? This is that month where women are consistently celebrated. And to help celebrate women for that, Analytics is giving out 300 plus scholarships. They're giving about 350 scholarships to 300 women and 50 men. So you're getting 50% off. Imagine, that is half off, which is very, very rare in any tech environment, to get 50% off of a training program. The highest you might get is maybe 10% off and so on and so forth. But to get that much value for 50% is an amazing deal. And this is because we are trying to make sure that we contribute our quota to ensuring that everybody is able to get in. Right? Now, understand that, yes, we are doing 50% off, but we have limited space. We have very, very limited spaces. Now, the full amount, normally, for the 8-month plan is $900. But with this discount, you now get to pay $450. And the beauty of it is that because it's 50% off, we have instrumental payments. We're not asking you, oh, pay once. And because we're giving you a discount, you need to pay once. No, we still offer you instrumental payments. And the beauty of that is that it means that in 3 months, you are done paying for the course, the 8-month course, right? And if you look in your chat box right now, you will see that my colleague has dropped the link with which you can click and pay for your course. Now, remember I mentioned earlier that there are limited spaces, right? It might sound like I'm trying to ginger us or encourage us, but let me show you something. Walk with me real quick. When you click on that link that I just clicked on, that my colleague just dropped in the chat box, you will see that it takes you to this landing page, which is our enrollment center, which we have built on the Mainstack platform, which is the most secure, one of the most secure payment platforms in the world, recognized worldwide. Right? So you know that your payment details are secure. Nobody's going to hack you, nobody's going to steal your data or any such thing. You are able to, one, chat with us. You are able to get access to all our program and brochures, and then you are able to take advantage of the IWD scholarship. Remember, I mentioned it earlier that this scholarship is actually very, very time sensitive, because as I am speaking to you right now, my colleagues are also speaking to other people, other programs, and encouraging them to quickly ensure that they pick their slots. And I will tell you why in a minute. So if you look to my right, you will see, okay, beautiful. Let me show you something real quick. Earlier, when I was discussing with my CEO, there were 32 seats available. Now that I have clicked on the link again, I have 30 seats left, which means that somebody somewhere just paid for 2 seats. Which means that if I blink, I am absolutely sure that in the next less than 24 hours or so, these seats might be half or even all gone. Which means that once the seats are all gone, it's going to revert back to that $900. And I know that you want to take advantage of this particular discount. If you look at the right side of my screen, you realize that you even are able to choose a payment plan. So you can choose to pay once, one-time payment at the $450. You pay once and you are done. You can choose to pay twice, which is $225 for each payment. And then the best part, you can pay 3 times. Now remember, I said that yes, it is a beautiful what's the word, initiative and all to encourage more women and men to get into tech effortlessly. But we have terms and conditions, right? Remember, I mentioned earlier that the seats are limited. What about conditions? Once the seats are up, it reverses back. Now, it only covers, strategy only covers the courses we offer, and in this case, it covers cybersecurity. You are required to upload your passport size photograph when you are filling your form after you have made your payment. And you must, once you have paid, you must resume your training on the 5th of April or depart to only the May cohort, which is the 10th of April start date. Now, what that means is that you have to have paid today for any of these conditions to work for you. Okay? Now, if you understand that people say, oh, let me just pay now and start in June. I have something to do. It will not work, please. So please, once you have paid today, start in the new cohort with the April cohort so that you can enjoy everything that is available to you within this cohort. Now, let's say, for instance, I select the 3 months payment. If you notice, when I select the 3 month payment, it automatically tells me that I will be making 3 payments in USD, 150 each monthly, and to start today. And my next payment will now be on Sunday, the 27th of April, 2025. And the beauty of this is that it actually will help you to automate your payment. And you know, another beautiful thing about this is that you notice that even whilst we are giving you a 50% discount, normal companies will say if you are paying installments, there will be a slight increase in what you pay. Am I correct? But we didn't do that. Yes, you are paying in installments, but you are still going to end up paying the same amount as a whole as whoever is paying one time. Isn't that beautiful? When you have selected your version that you want to pay with, that is the installment version you want to pay with, you go ahead and click on secure your seat. Now, here to show you the payment structure and ask you to review it. To tell you the first one is due today, next one is due in April, the next one is due in May. So you can already see ahead how when you go ahead and proceed, it's going to details where you will then fill in your name, fill in your email and your phone number, and you pay. And come back here, hold your receipt, and put the information that is. If you, when you are paid, and if it's effortless, and if you hit any snag, you can literally just click on the chat with the analytics button and just chat with us. That's how straightforward this is. You see here, you see that chat with the analytics. You can chat with us and get clarity on what that you want to think about. That is the beauty of our payment platform. Effort, automated, and straightforward. Stress-free. We don't believe in stressing our participants. All right? Now, let me. Hi guys, can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Please? Hi, everyone. Can you all hear me, please? Okay. I cannot see your responses, but I believe that you can actually hear me. Okay, as I was saying, and the reason why I believe that we are the best of the best is not just because of hearsay or our bragging right. It's because we have achieved so much in such a short time, and we have proof, right? So far, we have been able to train over 2,800, or like we say in Africa, 2,850 people from being non-techies into being proper trained professionals, right? And this is not just from a place of, oh, I'm trying to tell you what this is. Remember, I showed you our success stories. I showed you so many things that show what we have been able to achieve with our abilities. Am I right? So, like I said earlier, we are very, very big on not stressing our people. We are very big on not putting you to making you jump through any loopholes, making you stress so much. So even our payment platform is the goal of the payment platform is to make sure that you are able to have ease in everything. Yes. So for Fred, you asked the question, you just asked me now that if you pay now, you have an engagement, can you start in May? Yes. That's what I just said. For our terms and conditions, you can pay today and start on May the 10th with the May cohort. The beauty of that is that you will not lose your 50% scholarship. The goal is for you to pay before the available seats are all taken off. Okay? Have I been able to clarify that for you, Fred? Have I been able to clarify that for you, please? Amazing, amazing. Thank you for that question. That was actually a very, very great question. Thank you for that. Yes, like I was saying, we have been able to achieve so much in such a little time, such that we have people working in different companies across UK, US, and Canada, Europe, Asia, even within Africa. And if you think I'm joking, our work speaks for us, right? Our participants work in some of the most recognized companies in the world. We have participants that currently work in HSBC UK, Cognizance, in Zenith, in AXA, Mansard, in EcoBank, in Etana, in MRS, in GSK. You name it, we have people that work there that have learned or passed through our program, right? And you know why it is beautiful? Our impact is even felt outside of our spaces. So we have from as far back as 2022, people mentioning how we have been able to help Africans in everywhere they have been found to be to achieve the what seems insurmountable. We've been able to help people to land amazing jobs, beautiful jobs. We go from being not absolutely unknowledgeable or without knowledge in a specific area to being able to defend their skill sets technically and in soft skill wise in everywhere they have found themselves. So much so that we're even featured on Tech About. We even had a hackathon that was global. It was global, it was that big. And it had heads of heads of industries as the judges, heads of companies as judges to come and test our participant skills. And it was amazing. It was they had an awesome time, right? So I believe that with everything we have learned today so far, we are very, very ready. Am I correct? We are very ready to take on premium technological skills. Am I correct? Am I correct in my belief that we are ready to take on premium technological skills? We're ready to advance our career. We're ready to connect. We're ready to be the best of the best of the best. Am I correct in that assumption? I'm waiting for us to answer me, please. Am I correct in assuming that we're ready to thrive in cybersecurity? We're ready to take on this learning and ready to take on this journey. Amazing. Thank you, Abiono. Amazing, amazing. So with everything I've said so far, I believe that we are all now clicking on that link that my colleague has dropped in the chat. that leads us to the payment platform. And we have also started securing our seats by making that payment. I believe you should be able to. Now, Destiny, for that question, yeah, when you fill the attendance form, you will see a space that allows you to ask for a clarity call. So what that does is allow you to sit with and speak to one of my other colleagues that they will then attend to your questions that are individually focused. So you're saying that you want to pay with crypto. You would then be guided through whether it's possible or not. And if it is possible, you'll be guided on how to go about making these payments. I promise you, you will get the best experience. Okay, it's as simple as booking a clarity session. All right, you don't have to worry. You just go ahead and book a clarity session. And you can do that by filling the attendance form and signifying that you would like to have somebody reach out to you and give you better clarifications on things that you need answers to. Now, I'd like to take more questions. So do we have any questions? Do we have anything you'd like to ask? Any questions, please? I'd like to take at least one more question before we call it a day today. Because while I'm waiting on the questions, I hope we're all clicking on our links and rushing to take advantage of the 50% of scholarship that we are entitled to by being a part of this session today. Yes, you can use a Google account just so that you are able to do this faster. All right, Mavis, that makes it easy for you. Yes, Destiny, if you do the 50% off, the goal is that, or the understanding is that the seats are limited, right? Now, while I told you earlier that whilst I'm talking to you, my colleagues are talking to other people, right? This means that you can get this scholarship by securing your seat. Now, for Mavis says you have only a Yahoo account, Yahoo email account. Let me quickly check what the issue might be and help you get clarity over that. All right. You said that you are not able to log in. I don't think it should be asking you for any accounts. You're not supposed to sign in or do anything. Did you click on the main.me enroll link that my colleague is currently sharing? I'm asking now, Mavis, please. You say you have only a Yahoo email account. Are you referring to when you have to? Hold on. Yes, so to pay in Naira is very, very easy. And how do you do that? You do that by, you see that top part of your screen where you have the top part where you have the USD, you have a drop down. So you go to that drop down and change to Naira, change to NGN. You can literally search for your currency. Well done, Mavis, well done. So I don't know, you can search for your currency, all right? Now, normally, it picks the location you are in and gives you a currency based on your location. If you go through our data, you see that you have people in the US, in the UAE, people in Afghani, every currency we select, right? Yes, Abdul. We are accredited. You don't have to convince them. We are accredited. We are an accredited institution. We are an accredited EdTech company. There's no need to be convincing. If you look at when you get access to the slides, I need you to look at the accreditation part of our slides where I mentioned that you can literally click on the link to view our accreditation. It is not hearsay or I'm guessing. No, you can literally just use that link to be sure that you are ready. I'm trying to take us back to the accreditation link so that we can all see what I mean. So if you see here, you see view our accreditation here, okay? And we are also compliant across the board. So it is like a two-way thing. Your employers know that, first of all, we're registered in Canada, so we are seen as a professional training institute in North America. And then the American Council that recognizes us officially as a member or a recognized training institute. So every training you receive with us is considered standard. It's considered meeting the requirements, meeting the recognized or international recognized standards of professional training in that field. Do you understand? So that is very sure, very effortless. You will not find anyone telling you, oh, because you train with analytics, we do not consider you properly trained. It is not possible. I can put my money on that. It is absolutely impossible. All right. So that is something that an employer will not need convincing about. Okay, Abdul? So I hope you have been able to secure your seat on with this 50% of scholarship, because I really, really would hope that I'm seeing you in one of the classes. Right, Abdul? Do I have your assent to that? Do I have your acknowledgement of that I am going to be seeing you in the classes? Okay, while I wait for Abdul to answer, I hope we have all started taking advantage of this scholarship. I believe Mavis has. I believe Abiona is already working on it so that they're able to take advantage of the scholarship. And I hope that we have all filled the attendance forms so that we are able to request for clarity sessions if we require it. We are able to go for the heated seats that are on the platform as we currently speak. I hope we all had fun in this webinar. I hope we all learned a lot. I hope we are all eager and ready to be the best cybersecurity professionals that we can be, regardless of whatever degree we currently have, whether we have a degree or not, area we're coming from. I hope we are all eager and ready to jump in and start learning. So with that, I have come to the end of today's session. I thank you for being with me from the beginning to the end of this session. I thank you for learning with me, and I hope to see all of you in class learning and thriving and being the best version of yourselves that you can be. Thank you all so much for coming out today. Thank you all so much for learning with me. Thank you all so much for coming along on this journey with me. You have been an amazing audience. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week and a great weekend. Take care, everyone, and good night.